Hello, everyone. This is Leonard de Guzman, co-host of the Life After D podcast, here with the famous Emily Robinson. How's it going, Emily? Looks like you're on a beach there, just hanging out, getting some sun.
I am. I'm in Bora Bora. It's beautiful. Staying in one of these gorgeous huts. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm here performing stand-up comedy at the comedy club. It's Flappers in Burbank, but I got the sign mixed up. It won't flip. The Zoom image won't flip. How's the divorce world? How's everything?
Things are good. Things are still slow with the courts closed, but people still have questions and need information and help. So trying to help as much as I can, outside of court. It's interesting seeing all the things you can accomplish without court, and when court isn't an option and you can't say, oh, we'll just go to court. People have to work together more. So that's probably actually a good thing.
Okay, in divorce news, I wish I had like some intro music, kind of like how the Daily Show does. Just silent. It's just like awkward silence.
We'll work on that for next time.
Yeah, we need like a musician. We need like a band, like the Jimmy Kimmel Show or something.
Right.
Okay, so here's some interesting news. Billionaire divorce uncovers secretive world of trust in South Dakota. In a lawsuit, Marie Bosarge claims that her arranged husband, Texas billionaire Ed Bosarge, created trust to hide income and property and to hold what would otherwise have been personal income assets. More than just another billionaire divorce spat, the case offers a rare window into the highly secretive world of asset trust in South Dakota. South Dakota is fast becoming a mini Switzerland for the world's rich trying to shield their assets. Ooh.
That's interesting. So South Dakota bank accounts now, not Swiss bank accounts.
Who knew?
Well, in all the divorce judgments that I write, and that most of my colleagues write, there is a provision for, hidden assets or assets that you discover were not disclosed in the divorce process. And even if you sign the divorce papers, you're not giving up your rights to those assets. If you find them or discover that they are out there, then you can still get your share. You don't lose your right to get your share. Plus, the spouse that hid them can be subject to sanctions and various punishments from the court.
Oh, so you can hide them, but you got to give it up if you get caught. Is that how it works?
Pretty much. I mean, we can't stop all the ways of hiding things, but you are required to sign documents under penalty of perjury saying you've disclosed everything. And if you haven't, then you're perjuring yourself. So, you're subject to punishments later on.
Okay.
Now, if you think your spouse is hiding something and not disclosing everything, there are tools to discover that, including private investigators, that you could use, before the divorce process is over to try and find those things.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're a Brad Pitt fan. He has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of movies out, and like he's been, I guess in the tabloids a lot. Like I'm a sucker for this stuff. This particular article from Us magazine, Brad Pitt's pal, Alia Shakwat, I'm butchering her name, sorry, has been a wonderful help after his divorce from Angelina Jolie. So she's from Arrested Development. She's an actress too. Looks like she's I know her from, I think she's like a comedic actress, right? So I guess after divorce from there's a high profile divorce case, I guess it helps to have like a funny friend maybe.
Probably. I mean, maybe he's just looking for something different. You know, he was with Angelina Jolie, and she's a more serious actress, more dramatic actress. Maybe he needs some some something lighter, you know. Although I've kept hearing reports he was back with Jennifer Aniston, so I guess that's not true.
Oh, okay, like a Friends reunion, because like it's coming back. Like it's very
Maybe.
popular on Netflix. We got that reunion coming. The '90s are coming back.
I know, I can't wait. They had 90210, we're gonna have Friends. It's great. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, these celebrities, they can't live their life out of the spotlight, and so much of what you hear, I'm sure, is not true, and there's just little like droplets of truth in there. But we all know his divorce was really ugly and nasty. I'm not even sure it's totally done yet, but they had a really awful custody battle, and it's just, you know, it's just proof everyone comes out on the other side, even with the ugliest of battles, with the most money in the world that you can spend on lawyers and fighting. You know, at some point it ends, and you got to move on with your life. And um you know, it's ideal if you don't spend that much money getting there, and most people don't have that much money to spend getting there. But even when you do, it's got to end at some point. It's, you know, there's always hope on the other side.
Well, that's good to hear. Okay, like this one. So this one's from online. Life after divorce, 3 months later. I thought I'd follow up with everyone here since it's almost 3 months since I posted the story. First interactions with my ex-wife have been dropped to nearly zero. Thank goodness. It's horrible seeing someone you love fall apart and destroy their life. I occasionally have to give her mail or something, but there's been no interaction in more than a month. Second, I officially have the deed to the house. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay or move through. I'm pretty far from work, family, and friends. The only reason I'm here in this house is because of her. But she would certainly tell you I never listened to her. Third, the dating scene is much easier for a man in his mid 30s. It would be a combination of things, though. I'm much more confident. I don't care about being rejected. And at the end of the day, if I'm rejected or there isn't a second date, more time to do what I enjoy. So I've been also more arrogant and dominant. Lastly, and the most important, I have rough days. I sleep a lot more. The nightmares are gone, but the insomnia is real some nights.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, there's a lot in there, like, of different, you know, feelings that you feel after a divorce. But I do actually think it does have that effect on some people, that they find dating to be easier, um, because you've already been married. And especially if you want kids and you've already, let's say, had kids, um, you don't feel the same kind of pressure, like the time clock and I got to meet someone so I can have kids. And you've already been through a marriage and a wedding, so it's kind of can be a lot more relaxed, and you don't feel the same kind of pressures to get married quickly, to meet someone quickly. And so I think that that is a positive effect for some people. And it sounds like that writer had, it kind of was feeling that too. And then, you know, as I've talked about before, finding some time to actually find yourself and enjoying yourself and having more self-confidence. I think those can all be positive effects after a divorce. A lot of people don't want to see each other right away, but I was reading an article that Demi Moore and Bruce Willis are like best friends now. And
Hmm.
so sometimes you do want to see each other. It may take many, many years, but sometimes you can be friends after the divorce is over too. It's really unique. There's no like one size fits all formula.
Okay. Here's another one. How do you afford life after divorce? Can someone with experience please be my divorce mentor. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I'm early 30s, female with a full-time job, but I worked out a budget and it doesn't pay me enough to live alone with my kid, even with child expenses split. It's a small company and they've been pretty accommodating with flexible schedules and working from home. So it was pretty good. It was a pretty good setup while we were together because early 30s male earned significantly more than I was able to leave earlier every day to pick up the kid from school, take her to activities, or drop everything when she was sick, etc. She's sick. We own a house together. We live in a not great but densely populated and fairly expensive area. Not sure if I'd get enough out of selling it to make a down payment and pay mortgage, even if it was a much smaller apartment instead. Let's skip over here. I don't really have much in savings. I have no idea how I could afford a lawyer or legal fees. Just please, I'm freaking out.
Well, those are really common questions, and a lot of people find themselves in that situation, and it is much more expensive to live, on one income than when you're a family unit living on two incomes. The pie just is much smaller when even if you're getting child support and even maybe alimony. What that person probably needs more than a lawyer is a financial planner. I always recommend that people talk to a financial planner after their divorce or even during sometimes, because you have to learn how to make a new budget. It's just like you hire a lawyer because you don't know the laws and what you're entitled to in the divorce. It's the same thing with money. You should hire a financial expert to help you get through those aspects of the divorce and be able to plan out a budget and figure out how to invest money, what expenses to cut, how to make your money go as far as possible. There are financial planners that specialize in working with recently divorced people. So those are the people that you would definitely want to call.
Okay. Here's one. It's pretty interesting. Is there life after divorce at 50? I'm 50 and married for 18 years with two sons, 17 and 10 together. The ex was in the medical field and making really good money. And when she was off work on maternity leave for our first one, she decided she didn't like her supervisor at work and wanted to move us all 2 states away to the town her parents had recently bought a house in, and just so happened there was a job opening there in her field, so her mind was made up. I did not want to move. We had only been married 1.5 years and just had our first child, living in a big, beautiful 100-plus-year-old Queen Anne style Victorian house in a historic neighborhood with good neighbors and close to all my family and friends. But she made way more money than me, and we were new parents. I went along. This was 2002, the beginning of the end and the longest 15 years of my life. There was nothing in that new town job-wise for me. I have a bachelor's degree, but found nothing but dead-end physical labor-intensive jobs that I was completely overqualified for a while. Continued to excel and thrive in her new position. She loved her new job and new town. I was miserable. This post goes on for like a long, probably like another 1,000 words. But in what you've heard, how do you start over after 50?
Yeah, well, look, that's a very common situation. Is you move for one spouse, or you have a particular life that you've created with that person, and as I've said before, it doesn't mean that you can't now start a new life for yourself. Just because that stage of your life is over Now it's time to start a new stage. And most of my divorces are actually people in their 50s or older. Because a lot of people want to wait for their kids to grow up and move out, go to college. So, um, of course, there's absolutely life for people in their 50s and older after divorce. There are many, many singles to meet. And with the internet now, there's so many ways to meet them. And you still, people live very long now. There's so much you have left to do, and you can move if you want to move geographically and start over, or stay where you are and start over. But absolutely, I have many divorces of people in their 50s and older, and they find new love and get remarried all the time.
Yeah, you can move to the beach where your background is.
Right. Exactly. And the benefit actually is that, your kids may be grown or close to grown, and you could meet somebody whose kids are also grown, and you can start a new life, the two of you, and not have to be worrying about raising each other's children, which is pretty hard to do when you have a blended family. And it's a wonderful thing to do as well, but that's one challenge that you won't have to deal with.
It's good to hear. That's all the time we have for today. So, any closing tips? Anything you see coming up?
Well, it's looking like the courts are probably still not going to reopen for a while. And, they're trying to do the best they can to provide tools to work things out outside of court. But, like I probably say every week, people really need to focus on figuring out how to work things out together. And it's hard, but looking into alternative mechanisms to resolve disputes like mediation is very important right now, because even when the courts do reopen, there's going to be such a big backlog that getting in is going to be very hard. So while it may be uncomfortable to think about going to mediation with your ex, sometimes, like right now, your choice is going to be that, or wait months and months and months and possibly even a year to have a resolution. So I highly recommend that. And it's, a tool that can be very useful right now.
Okay, so you heard it here. Emily Robinson, famous divorce attorney. So we'll go and talk to you guys next week, or whenever we put this on again. So
when I'm back in the States.
there you go. All right. Bye, Emily.
Bye.